Welcome to Ascot and Hats. Join us as we interview Prince, an established business owner. Prince has a very unique and empowering story of growing up in Afghanistan, joining the military, and coming to America to live the American dream. But he doesn't stop there. Prince uses his success and influence to inspire others and to give back, to build better communities and a better future for all. All right, well, without further ado, thank you for joining us on another episode of Ascot and Hats.
I think he writes the scripts up for the night.
Actually, just write it in my head. I wrote it actually.
Why are you talking to me? You're supposed to be talking
I know.
to
Talk to them. Get your shit together.
I try to.
Try.
Yeah, we only try to every day.
Just try.
But anyway, so welcome to our next episode of Ascot and Hats. We have a very special guest with us today, one of our good friends, Prince, who has an absolutely exceptional story to talk about his life, immigrating from Afghanistan to the United States, pretty much on his last dollar, and then becoming a successful businessman out here. I mean, it's just, his journey is just inspirational for everyone. So I hope you enjoy. And so without further ado, I'll pass over to Prince and may let him give a little short introduction of, his inspiration, why he's here, why he came to the show, and why he's here to share his story. So thank you.
Thank you guys for having me, and I'm sorry being late 40 minutes.
That was going to be my first
comes
question.
like
Yeah, I
second
wanna know
question.
why.
Okay.
With everything you've accomplished in your life, you couldn't get here on time.
Oh, geez.
Exactly.
Or you could hire a car service. Yeah. Yeah. Get your shit together.
Yeah, slowly slowly there. Thank you for having me here today, and it was definitely a special day for me to be here. I've been thinking about this for
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
You had this on your mind?
Of course.
No, not you.
Everybody except you.
Don't get excited.
I'm just kidding.
Don't get all excited.
That's why I got that pimple here because of the stress. So
That's
what
a
I will do
serious
here,
pimple.
serious pimple
Why you
here.
gotta talk about his
Yes.
pimple?
Hold on. I think we need a close-up on this.
I don't
damn
think you
pimple.
need to talk about his pimple.
I think we need to because it needs to go.
Are you really going to
It
take a
looked like
picture of
a
that?
Oh, he's saying this for
satellite dish.
his own archives.
You're taking a picture of that?
It's a baseball.
Why don't you upgrade your phone?
Don't hate my.
You only got like one lens
It's
back
too
there.
early for me to give you the middle finger.
Well, you know what? This is just like an Austin Powers. Holy moly, guacamole! Staring at that molder.
yes.
Yeah, that's what that is.
I'm not gonna focus on it though.
Anyway,
Oh, you're
Well,
already
we got a
fucked.
better subject now. Seeing what he did.
all right, Prince,
Really?
ignore them. Go ahead and tell us about your day. You were thinking about the show?
Yeah, to come here and absolutely, always fun to chit chat with you guys.
Yeah.
From university club to
Yep.
here, it's always good to be around some nice and positive people.
When did we first meet? At you
University
met
club.
Jacob first.
Yeah,
Jacob.
Mitch introduced us there.
Yes,
Okay.
on the first day, I was actually not a member that day.
No, you weren't. Yep.
I was just like as a
You're
guest,
there for the tour.
a member, and then that was it. And the next day, I believe,
Was it the next day?
the
You were
next
there?
it was
Next sunset. Six?
next sunset. Set.
Yes, that's right. Because I told you to make it for that event. Because
Yeah,
that
and
was
then
one-
I was a member that day, officially.
Oh wow.
Oh, you joined
See?
that day.
I joined. Yes, I was actually after the first day. When we met, I was as a guest invited there. I
Okay.
was a member appreciation day or something like this.
Yes,
And then
that's right. It was
yeah.
an
I signed up for
appreciation
that.
party.
Okay.
on Wednesday, that's how we met basically.
to-
and
you
then
didn't
we
come
just
to
like
that.
No.
He doesn't go to events like
No,
that.
I don't know.
He doesn't support.
So
the
I'm
club.
curious. After meeting him, why did you join? It's a real question. I'm
well.
It's a real question. Sounds like a made-up question.
No, it's a real question.
So actually, I received a invitation from Mitch saying, "Hey, can you come here? There's a university." I was like, "Huh? I've been there for like 10 years and I don't even know there's something upstairs, basically.
Right.
Let's say that way." I walked in and he was telling me, "Oh, there's a nice view, nice food." I was like, "Listen, my friend, I can find nice views everywhere. I'm curious what type of people coming in here. That's important because I can get nice view everywhere I go. I can make nice food at home.
Right?
Of course, it's cheaper, right?
Right.
But tell me the type of people I'll be meeting here because that's what we need to surround ourselves with some positive people. What type of people are coming here? That's important for me. Way important. I'm not gonna get impressed by the view you're showing me here and all these things. They're nice, right?
Yeah.
But I'll get impressed with the type of people that I'll be meeting here. That's I think we need to surround ourselves in the entire life with this positive people that have accomplished something in their lives. So we can,
Yep. Yep.
follow their guide and definitely being around positive people is always important. And good.
Yeah. But
So-
I love how you did not allow the fluff. You did not allow all the things that you saw in the building to move you. You want to know what is the character of the people that come to this place.
That's exactly what I was invited for a dinner. I was like, give me a glass of water. That's all I want at the moment. I didn't even eat that day.
Okay.
I was like, okay, tell me when I can come.
Right.
See the people that are coming. I was like, okay, well, the next event was that appreciation. They were like, come over and see. I didn't even eat dinner that day because I didn't want him to think I came there for a dinner. I was like,
interesting.
I want to see the type of people. And I came in here, there's so many good people around there. I talked with people around.
People.
Yes.
Jacob, absolutely, one of the special good ones there. Appreciate it. And then, that's how we met. I mean, that's why I keep my membership. We're all busy. I don't. Sometimes like 2-3 months, I don't even go there. But it's always a reason to. I don't want that door to be closed. There's always positive people, good people to go and meet you guys and so many more there. And that was the reason I joined, and I'm happy I did that.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. I think that's why we stick around there too.
Because of the people.
It's just conducive to that, and it builds you up.
Yeah,
like
entire club, from the people working there, and anyone. That's some place that I can take a guest there with the fully confident that they will be happy when they're leaving. The type of the hospitality that we have. I'm not trying to put any advertisement for the club here today, but it's always important to appreciate the people.
We're friends because of the club.
Yeah,
Friends,
we're
and then
friends
also the people that work there are absolutely from the Mitch to like everybody there.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
Very awesome people,
Such great people.
very great people there, and yeah.
Can I just interject real quick? I know you have I'm pretty sure you have an amazing question, but just imagine young people that are coming out of college. Instead of discussing benefits, salary,
what's in it for me,
perks, who are the people? Who am I going to be reporting to? Who am I going to be working with? I mean, you've just messed up my whole thing right now. I love that because my wife was meeting with some of the chiefs at her company, and they were complaining about the culture. And her response to them was, well, you guys are so fast at hiring that you don't take time to get to know someone. And, you was like, no, you're not going to just win me over with perks. Tell me about these people, their character, their integrity. And I'm just thinking, imagine young people graduating from college, probably taking a little vacation right now. They're going to go into start applying around mid-July, August. They need to know. Don't just go after the perks and the benefits and the bonuses, but find out who these folks are and if they really have the integrity, if their values matches your values, how you were raised. Imagine how much stress we could avoid if we ask those questions. So I appreciate you saying that.
Sure, and I think it's very important that, like, as you were saying, of course, money is important. Financial stability is something that's it's very important in our life. It's a necessary thing. But if, for example, if I get a job offer somewhere, just through the ball there, $5,000 there. Oh, here's a $5,000, and then there's a job offer that's $10,000. Yeah, financially you go for $10,000 because you want to pocket up. But the real wealth, I think, is personality. Like, the people are the one that shape your personality. The people around you, the people you stick out with, the people that you basically hang out will shape your personality.
Absolutely.
And this is something even stay after we leave the world. Money doesn't, right?
Yeah.
No matter how many buildings you have, how many cars you drive, how much money you have in a bank account. Yeah. At the end of the day, when we're leaving this world, which we all do, this is a reality and a sad one, was personality even stays after. They say, oh, good person. He such an amazing person. Impact to the community.
Yes.
That doesn't come with money without personality. If you have money and personality, you can do, of course, a lot of great things.
Sure.
Yes.
But you have money, no personality, you cannot do anything. You can even damage yourself and your community with that money because you don't have
That's true.
the way to go on. If you don't have money but you have personality, a smile can change somebody's day.
Yeah. Well, like talking about the impact is, of course, the philanthropic work that you do back in your home country in Afghanistan there. I mean, it's incredible what you've been able to accomplish there with all the different constructions. So if you want to like discuss a little bit about that, I'm sure the rest of us would love to hear that.
Well, Afghanistan, I think, I grew up there. That's my home country. I think for the last 40, 50 years, all those politicians, I would say, were going in the wrong direction to the country. War is not the answer now. We need to build a bridge, connect people, and, go there and respect the culture. I think every country has their own culture. Yep. We can implement something that works here, there.
No.
We need to respect there. If there is anything that needs to be changed, we should give them a time, give them a reason to change slowly.
Yeah.
We can't just force things there. After the recent, changes in Afghanistan, of course, there's everybody trying to start another conflict there. The conflict didn't work out. So it's a time to just go there, build. And I think at the end of the day, it's people that they are getting affected by all this conflict, civilians. So small piece I was doing with the, with some nonprofits. One of them were called VPP, the Vulnerable People Project. We're focusing on helping people directly, regardless of who's in power in Afghanistan. People has no control who should be, I know it does. If you go to the democratic countries, like election play a big role. But right now, Afghanistan is not in a position that, you can run an election right there. It's something happened. Yeah. It's a reality that happened. Some people or group are controlling that country. People are getting affected if everybody turn their face away from it. So it's people like me and everybody that I think have a root back there should step out and, hey, we need to help people there. We need to go do anything we can. Like we weren't able to, for example, build a female clinic in a very, very remote area in Afghanistan that literally every year we had few, when I say few, like 10, 15 female dying because they can't get to the point to nearby hospital was taking them 8 hours to go or 6 hours to go. Or we built a drinkable water. I mean, it could be surprising for some people in US when they say, hey, there's a place in the world that they don't even have water to drink. And they have to use animals, like donkeys, go 3-4 hours every day to just get some water to drink. Now we have, here, sometimes we're even lazy to go to Costco, just order it and bring it to our home. We were able to build 2 wells on those remote area, do the plumbing to 3 different villages, which affecting around 800 families around there. For the generations, they used to go 3-4 hours every day to get drinkable water, and mostly they were kids and female were doing that because the men were at work. So now they can just step out of their house, get some water, and come back.
So I'm thinking, as you guys are all talking, particularly the stories you're sharing right now, and a lot of people I think that are listening to the show, they hear Afghanistan, there's tons of movies about it, right? Russian occupation and so forth. I'm thinking of some right now. And sometimes as an American citizen, we're fairly disconnected and don't understand what it means to have to go 8 hours to just go to a clinic, right? We can hear the words, but unless you live that, you don't really understand, right? That's different for you because now you have lived and experienced both. You were living an Afghan lifestyle, right? Before you experienced an American lifestyle, right? So you intimately are familiar with all of the nuances of what it's like to live in that environment, right?
Yes.
And now you've come to the United States with arguably all the opportunity that is available here, right? A lot of the things we take for granted. And it's so amazing and commendable that rather than you come here and just try and enjoy it for yourself or your family, you do not forget where you came from, right? All this commentary that you've had about people, about why you joined the club and what was most important to you about making a decision to go to the club and all of that. I think that's all fundamentally founded in where you came from. right? Because you know how powerful that is, the connection of human beings. That's how, I mean, and again, I'm talking out of turn here because I have not been to Afghanistan nor lived that kind of life, right? But everybody's got their story, right? Everyone's got their own perspective. But I would imagine that growing up, that connection with people in Afghanistan was what helped carry you through probably some difficult times. I think it would be great if, for our listeners, you could kind of give us a little bit of background of what it was like as an Afghani citizen, and then now also experiencing being an American citizen, so that it really puts into context what you lived, what you did to change your situation, and then what you're doing now because you're in a different situation to impact people who haven't had the opportunity that you created for yourself. Because you literally created it for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, we're obviously a little familiar with your story.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about, I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, what it was like growing up in Afghanistan, the things that you kind of grew up, you know, we don't need to know when you were in diapers. We're good with that.
Exactly.
we could jump ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know, kind of get a perspective, because I think, at least for me selfishly, I want to understand it more. Because when I hear you talk, there's insight there. There's a wisdom there because of what you've experienced. I don't know what that is. I think neither of us do. Any of us do. So if you can give us that background, and then I think that'll transition really nicely into some of the details that we are familiar with about that journey from there to here, right? And you're still on a journey. You're going to be doing some amazing things as time goes on. But the journey from where you came from to where you are today, it's a fucking movie, bro. Yeah. It's straight up a movie. I'm not kidding. So if you don't mind sharing, and wherever you want to start.
So basically, I had similar conversation last night with some of my friends. I told them, listen, I'm 32 years old. I think I left a life for 2 centuries.
Yep.
Because I came from there to there. And then the last 10, 15 years, of course, Afghanistan had absolutely, I can't go really back. If you look 1948, Google Afghanistan was different. Totally different, westernized. Absolutely, you won't believe the picture you see.
In what year?
1948.
Really?
Or 19. Yeah, you wouldn't believe the type of Afghanistan at that time.
Like developed. I mean, for that time period.
Absolutely. And the war started right after, and that 40, 50 years war kept us, I would say, 2 centuries back. A lot. So. I remember going to school at the first grader. We didn't. When you say school, maybe people thinking it's a building. It's a the way we have here.
Sure.
It was different. So I'm describing my building.
Please.
School building. So school building was a very old building that ultimately was bombed somehow, destroyed. So we had a living room that was our class as a first class, and there was 2 other rooms. There was a second or third. So basically, we were joining in a living room and a 2 other room with the 3 different ones. Our blackboard as a first grader was the wall that we painted ourselves black and using construction chalk to use it.
This is when you're in first grade.
That was my first grade.
And this is a demolished building, so open ceiling?
Open ceiling, done. You're done. Yeah, absolutely. Chair, that was a dream thing. We were using, we called this UNICEF plastic tarp to sit on. Sometimes your feet were numb.
Yeah.
You couldn't even feel it, sitting on the ground there.
Because it's stone or something on the ground,
it's
right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not not even like that.
It's
It's stone, you're sitting there. Chair, I mean, that's something. My teacher didn't even have a chair. How can we have a chair? And then remember, me and my brother, we used to basically use okay, if you have a pencil, okay, you get half, I have half. Let's work on a notebook. And that's a situation, that was my first grade, and then that was the start of it. So when it came to the school, sometimes it was confusing when people were talking about, oh, I didn't have a good opportunity to do this. I'm listen, I went my first grade like that. And I'm 100% sure US were not even in the last 100 years.
No.
Close to that.
No.
Close to that one.
No.
Well, up and down, I graduated. So from selling, I was like 7 years old when I was selling bananas on the street. I remember having that.
Did you come up with that idea, or that you were asked
So
to do
basically, if I go back, a little bit back, we lived in Iran for 5 years, like most of the Afghans do, because there's no other way to go. And there's war and problem, you skip out, you have to go. So I was 2 years old when we went there, which I don't really remember at the time that we went there, and I was like, I would say 5 or 6 when we came back. So literally the last year, I was seeing my dad's going to work, my older brother going to work. So my older brother used to go to work from 3 a.m. to 10 p.m.
How old was he?
At that time, he was like 16 years old, 17 years old.
3 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
Yeah, so basically he was working where we have like all those vegetable stuff. He had to go that early with a bicycle to secure the good vegetable. And then the person who was he working for was coming up, pick it up, go to the store, display them until 10 p.m., put them all back to the box and go home.
And then be back up there at 3 a.m.
3
again.
a.m. So basically he had like 4 hours sleep. And only Fridays he had half day off. That's I remember that. My dad used to go to work. Another brother after him used to work. So one day I woke up at 6 o'clock. I'm like, why you cannot work? Why you're not going to work when they go to work? I didn't say anything to anyone. I just started walking out of the home.
You just started thinking that.
I was like, okay, why I shouldn't work when they work? Yeah. And I'm like 5 years old or 6 years old, something like that. So I started leaving my home without even telling anybody and going to every single store that I was seeing there, asking, hey, do you hire someone?
At 5?
At 5 or, yeah, literally 5.5.
You're
before
adolescent.
6. Yes. Before school. There was no school. It's like at 7 o'clock, when you're 7, you go to school, right? So it was before that. I walked in here like every store, and basically until 2 p.m., I was looking for the work at the age of 6. Just walking, don't even know where I'm going. And don't even thinking what your family is thinking, how they can find you, they get worried about that. So I turned around, and there was, at that time, we didn't really have, I mean, of course there was phone, but we didn't have that facility staff to call each other. When I came back around 2 o'clock and, basically, hopelessly, I didn't have a job because who's hiring at 5 years old? Right. Came back and I saw almost entire my family, my uncles, everybody is at home. My mom's crying. They thought I got kidnapped or something happened to me. Yeah. So the next day, my dad was like, okay, well, instead of him, doing something to himself, let's keep him busy. So we went to this shop next to our house in Iran, like, hey, telling that guy, hey, can you hire this? My son. I don't care about the salary. I just want him to be there because he wants to work.
Dude, you're 6.
Dude, my kids are light years behind, man. I'm going home. I said, let me tell y'all.
I know, right?
I was like, I don't care about his salary or anything. I just want him to keep himself busy here so he don't just do the same thing he did the other day, Because he know, like, if I let him go, like, he's going to do it again.
So I don't want to lose your train of thought, but I just have a really quick question, and I'm really curious. Let's just say you're 6 years old, just to be on the safe side. What do you think is the reason a 6-year-old thinks about, I got to get a job? Do you think it's because of your connection with the family there, and you felt like you felt obliged, like, I have to contribute. I have to pull my own weight. Because I love these people so much, and I can't just sit here and take. I have to give too. I guess maybe I'm answering the question. I don't know.
So that's exactly what it was. Like, I know it's too early to think like that, but
it is.
I grew up in a family we care about each other from the beginning. Like, no matter how old you are, you're just there with the family you respect.
Lifelong connection.
Life connection. I don't remember any time my dad was walking in, even in the older age, we used to stand up in front of him as a respect. That's how we...
When he walked in the house, you stood up?
When he walked up, you stood up?
Like, when he walked into the room, we stood up as a respect in front of him. That's
kids
how...
are slipping.
Man, when I walk attention.
And this is exactly the type of family I grew up, and I'm very happy, and I thank God every day for that. And I always tell, like, if I can contribute 10% of my dad to my kids, I'm the best dad in the world. if I can contribute 10% of what he did to me and to my family.
That's amazing thing to say, man.
So that age, I was like, okay, if my dad is old, he's going to work. If my brother's 16 years old at the time, people playing on the ground were like going to soccer and they enjoy their life because they have no responsibility. Exactly.
Wandering around.
So my older brother was like 13 years old. So he was doing almost the same thing, not that many hours, but almost the same thing. Why can you be a part of it? And that was going to my head over and over and over. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? You need to go find a job. You need to go there, at least, do something.
Right. So respect for your family.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, if they contribute, why you can contribute. My dad used to work, going every day to work, and here we have limit hours, like 8 hours, and if you go over that, you get overtime and double time. There's nothing like that. You have to work at least 6 days or 6.5 days. Like Fridays are half day normally there, and it's not like cap hours. You go early morning, you have to show up at 8 o'clock, for example, in the morning. In normal job, but what my brother was doing was different. It was a special care needed. You have to be so early to secure the good fruits,
Right.
to be able to sell it. And then there's no end time for you. You just go there until you finish your work, and then go back home.
Is it like their own business, or they work for somebody?
They work for somebody, and that's how it is, unfortunately. Not like in US, it's a lot of cap, it's a lot of rights.
In US, that company will be sued.
Exactly.
HR nightmare.
OSHA would have been there years ago.
I didn't even mean from an HR perspective. I mean, like, so if you go out there and you sell, a widget, and you get $10, do you keep the $10 as gross, or do you have to pay somebody?
So basically, he wasn't selling. So, like, for example, you were selling it, you hired me. So I am the one doing the hard work. I have to go secure this and then bring it to your shop operation, and then I just get a fixed salary.
I got that.
Yeah, they're more logistics of moving it.
Yes, so basically, and then they were not allowed to drive, or they couldn't drive, and then you secure it and you come pick them up alongside with the whatever wage and stuff, and then they go set up your shop. You're just sitting there, and they're selling it for you, and then you put it back on the box.
Got it.
So that's how, like, employee.
So jumping ahead to when you were doing bananas.
Yeah. So I went. So we were super lucky. After I was like 6 months of employed in Iran, working when they call fixing heaters. I wasn't doing anything. I was just like sitting there because I couldn't do anything. I was just sitting there, clean up, grab a broom. I remember those like big stick broom was too big. I couldn't handle it. I just grabbed a small one, like when you do like dustpan. The small ones. That's exactly what I was doing. And when my employer at the time was gone, I was just telling people like, hey, he will be back, or he didn't want to close the store.
Right.
I was just like sitting there, wandering there, and then at night I was going back home so my job was like 8 to like 6 p.m., 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And this is when you're like 6, 7 years old.
6 years old, not even 7, because after 6 months, so my family, which is a very, very important step, and I'm really grateful for that, they decided to move back to Afghanistan. Even the Taliban's under control, the first time Taliban under control.
So they decided to go back to Afghanistan from Iran.
From Iran, like, okay, we're done, we go there, this is our country, we have to go there. And we went through the entire things. I remember on the border, United Nations had there's a class saying, telling us, hey, if you walk into the ground and you see a pin, don't think it's a pin, it could be a bomb. Like teaching us all those like aspects
orientation for bombs.
Yeah, like there was like some bombs that left from Russian invasion in Afghanistan that looked like a pin.
Yeah,
you go grab it, done. Or anything. They had like so many different pictures that they were teaching families, especially kids. Like if you go there, if you walk in there, you see like a bullet or whatever, don't touch it.
Right.
They were orientation before going there, because when Russian left, they basically landed mines after them.
Yeah.
Or they dropped so many the bombs that they looked like toys and looked like something normal for us.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
And then done. And that's why we have so many kids that lost their, of course, life and their land. There are like so many of them. So I remember they were teaching us all those at that time. And then we went to Afghanistan. So Afghanistan, everybody started doing something, and me and my older brother, we opened a shop. But since that wasn't enough, so we are okay. We do this: like you stay in the shop, I go sell bananas on the street, and we had a small like cart to push. Different one.
Yeah.
One day he was going, one day I was going. I was like 7 now, like 7.5 at that time. Still, I didn't start because we came in the middle of the school year, so I wasn't able to join the school. And I remember taking the bananas out, and they were like, how they are like a bunch, like falling. I couldn't even see there because I'm too little, crashing them. And I'm like, oh boy, pick them up, put them up there, and then go. Like leaving the morning, come back afternoon, and whatever I sold, that's how it was as a contribution.
I find it interesting that when you're telling the story, you're not emoting this feeling of like, that was such a difficult time in my life. I've been able to move past it. You almost look like it's a good memory.
It is. So here's the thing.
Listening to it,
Yeah.
sounds like such an amazing
Seems like because of his family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Anything we do, I believe, if there's a good reason for it, that eases it out for you. Like if you climbing the mountain and there's a good reason for that, I don't think it makes it that difficult for you. Yeah, it's challenging. And I don't even, like some people like say, oh, bad days. I don't even believe on bad days. I think the days are challenging. There's no bad days. You wake up, you can breathe, you're healthy, you have 2 hands and feet. So many people missing that. It's not a bad day. It's just challenging day. It's need more attention. You have to put more work on it.
Great perspective.
To just move on.
That's the word.
Yeah.
That is an amazing perspective. Do you think that people have to experience not precisely what you did, but something, they have to experience significant challenges to learn about themselves, to be able to have that kind of a perspective?
So I think I don't know how people can even experience, can even feel it if they don't experience something. It's hard. That's why like a lot of people like, I see them like, study on the book, but it's like, oh, you study, there is a pain, but if I hit you, you feel the pain.
Because you don't understand how the body works.
Now you understand
Because different senses.
what's the different senses there. I don't really hope that people go through the challenging time, and they shouldn't be. I'm saying is like whatever you have, whatever you're putting in, I think it's a challenge. We all have challenge. When you live outside, there's like so many bad things. You're doing a good thing. It's a challenge because they're pushing you. Let's go this way. You're just like hitting. Everybody, I think, have their challenge on their life. If you're going out there, for a lot of younger generation. I'm not too old too, but. Going out of college, if there's so many bad things there pushing you and you're doing a good thing, this is a challenge. This is something that'll shape you in good. In the future, when you look back, you'll be proud of it. For me, it was that at the time. It was challenging. Yeah, it was not too easy to go early morning, leave for selling bananas, come back at night. And sometimes he was losing money because I was missing out all those bananas falling my car down. Counting, you got something fine.
Was he a family member who gave you the job?
It was just basically I was selling it for ourselves.
Got it.
Buying the bananas and then take it there and count it and see how much.
So if you lost money, the family lost money.
Exactly. That's a family. Yeah, that's an old business family thing. That's how much was there. That was my everyday thing. And then selling gums. We had a small type of guns. Just walking the street. No, selling gums.
Wait, are you saying guns? Like
not guns.
Okay.
No, gums.
Gums. Like
gums.
chewing gums.
Yes,
chewing gums.
Got
Sorry.
it. I was just making sure.
Me no English, bro.
Mike was a little confused there. He's like, "You're doing what now?"
No guns.
I was like, are we talking
that'll be
AKs?
too far.
Okay.
AK,
I got you.
RPG-7. Like, come on.
Because they ship them in a box.
Because I grew up in Afghanistan, they think I
I'm
sell
sorry,
guns.
I went to ammo.
I'm like, you just said it comes in a box. It's
I'm
like, how
it comes in a box. They do come in a box.
They look in a box. Yeah, selling it exactly. Gums. See, gums and guns.
But I think it's the family structure. That was his.
I agree with you.
Yeah, he was able to witness something. All what was presented to him. He's like, okay, it's just a challenging day, but I'm out here with my dad. I'm out here with my brothers. You know, for people that have grown up in this particular society, they'd have lost their mind. They wouldn't have survived 5 minutes. And Prince is here, you know, reminiscing about things that will probably have traumatized someone else. He's like, this is...
We're talking some major
Okay.
therapy.
Therapists would have been billionaires right now.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also the scenario you're in too, because it's like having that support structure behind you.
Exactly.
It wasn't just Prince by himself going through it. He has this family supporting him
The whole
through that
support system.
experience.
Well, he's seeing the country going through it.
So yes, if you were to take someone from here and just drop them there, of course that's going to be traumatic
Oh,
because
yes.
it's just unusual. It's foreign to them. But if someone grew up in that, it's like Prince was saying, it's just the trials and tribulations of life. And you don't even really pay attention to it because you don't have a scope of, well, this is what else it could be.
So you talk a lot about your, you know, your father and your brother. Again, what about your mom? Well, how was she?
She was, like in Afghanistan, so normally, traditionally, is that females are always raising children.
Yeah.
This is the most, I believe it is still, like, this is the most difficult job they can have because that shaped the next generation.
Yes.
That shaped the next generation.
Creating and then raising a human being.
Raising a human being. Yeah. So yeah, I'm I'm sure there are like so many great people out there that like everybody think their moms is the best mom in the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hands down.
Yeah, my dad is the best dad in the world, and for me they are. They used to be. Unfortunately, I don't have them today. I wish they were here to be witness to see that. Okay, you know, whatever we did, it's here. And today, if I'm here, it's because of my mom, my dad, because they shaped me.
You are a reflection of them. Period.
Reflection of that. I mean, I think. Well, I don't want to say a bad reflection of that. I can be as good as they were.
You believe that?
I believe this.
So you're always trying to be.
I'm trying to be at least, again, 10% of that.
Like you said, 10%.
If I can.
You know, we just got to cheers to that, man.
That is
Absolutely.
To all that.
Absolutely.
That's not alcohol, but
No,
it is not.
That's okay, though, bro.
You were having
sparkling water.
Sparkling water.
What did you get?
Just
Pellegrino.
Why you
It's a
alcoholics
kid's
drinking
drink,
together?
bro. That's why in the club I went to the bar, like, what do you have for kids? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't drink alcohol. So
They
do you
have
have?
they have mocktails.
Well, they actually brought non-alcoholic
word.
wines.
Yeah.
You did.
They brought.
Non-alcoholic wine.
Oh yeah.
Non-alcoholic beer.
They
like,
have everything there.
Okay.
Yeah. You've never tried it.
No. That's like drinking decaffeinated coffee. What's the point?
That's very true.
It's like, you know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a hot dog without the bun. It doesn't make no sense.
Exactly. Go get the juice, right? Go get the apple juice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your siblings, are they still in Afghanistan?
Everybody's
Are they here?
there.
Everyone's there.
Everybody's there. Yes, they're all there, and so I wasn't even thinking in my life that I'll be here one day.
So when did that? So we're gonna leave the bananas, and we're gonna
And
move
gums,
and
gums, chewing gums,
chewing
gums,
gums,
yes, chewing gums away, like
not 12 gauge,
Yeah. Don't profile.
No, not AKs.
not
no.
AKs.
Okay.
All right.
Mike had a one-track mind
I
there.
kind of did. And we're evolving now to an age where at some point you had a moment where you started to think about a different direction for your life.
So my entire family, when I say that, from my mom to dad to older brothers, anyone that always shaping the smaller children, like they had they were always saying like, hey, we didn't have the opportunity to go to school, higher education, go on.
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm in the middle. I have two older, two younger. We want you to go. Like now we're talking about after the Taliban. So Talibans are gone. I remember the first night of B-52 that bombed Herat airport, because after 9/11, I have that memory in my head still. My entire house like flashed, like turned to like seems like all those flashlights open in one second, and like, you
like
hear the
daylight.
explosion.
Fierce bright light.
Yeah, from there. And then my parents were like rushing us to the basement because they was like, that's, you go to the basement, you don't get the.
What time of day is this?
It's 3 a.m. in
So
the middle of the night.
You're woken up from a dead sleep
Yes.
to be
Running there.
rushed into the basement.
Basement because there's bombs hitting.
So you can obviously you see the light, but you can hear and
Absolutely.
feel the percussion.
And there's no power. We don't have power like you have here. We only have power for 2 hours through the 24 hours.
So there wasn't power at 3
There was
a.m.
no. Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like I experienced two centuries.
Mm-hmm.
From the time you only have 2 hours a day power at home, and at 3 a.m. there's no power. We have those small flashlights lighting.
Right.
Rushing to the basement, sitting there and hoping because we don't know where they're targeting. We don't. Like,
You have
it's
no
just,
idea. How old are you?
Now I'm 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, not 8 a.m.
8 years old.
8 years old. 8 years old. And so we run there because we don't have any TV. Taliban were not allowing any TV or anything. You're not allowed to have TVs or anything at the first time. Now it's different. They allow, surprisingly. But no TV. Iran, we had TV. When we come here, there's no TV. We only have 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours power. Start from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Done. You don't have any power during the day. That's it. That's your power.
So your hot water, you heat it up with a flame?
The hot water, you heat it up with the, what's it called, firewood.
Yeah.
That's how you go shower, basically.
Yeah.
Heat up and then take with a bucket, go there and shower. That's how you do there. And of course, you will have to shower during the day because there's at
Sure.
night.
Yeah. And this is early 2000s.
Yeah, 2001. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
It's post 9/11.
and then get water from the well. There's no like actual plumbing or anything like that. So something you have to like 10 minutes pulling up the water and then pour it and then go another 10 minutes, get another.
So was this a transition moment when you got pulled?
So basically they were pushing, and my dad was happy when they see the U.S. going to Afghanistan. I remember he telling us like, hey, we didn't see a peaceful time during our age, and I'm glad you guys will see that. That was our hope. But still it didn't happen, unfortunately.
Right.
But they were pushing like, hey, you need to go to education. Don't worry about work. Yeah, do work. You want to work, fine. But first you need to focus on your education and study there. So I went to high school, like first year, I was in Taliban regime the first time when you used to wear turban to go to school with that type. And then the second year, the regime changed.
So you didn't have to wear that anymore.
Not that one, yeah. We're supposed to go like this to school. So yeah, graduating from high school, let's say that way. So going through that, we have a better life by now.
Okay.
Under 12, yeah. Graduating high school, my brothers are in the cell phone industry. They're repairing cell phones. My brain, I was like, I don't have that talent to just, like Jacob has, like putting all these machines together. If I do that, I'll have so many X-ray stuff, like I don't even know. Maybe they're extra, just trash it.
You made it better.
Just don't do that. 12th year, graduating from high school. It is, so before the high school, like I'm at 11, how I changed this. So one day I'm in the high school, but I'm not in the last years. I'm in the 11th grade. One of my cousins come from a different city telling me like, hey, Nemat is my Afghan. Oh, did I say that? We have to cut this one.
Okay.
Hey, can you take me to this US base, which is in your city? They're hiring people as a translator there. Can you help me there? I was like, okay, well, I can take you there for sure. So next day, he was like, hey, can you take your ID too? I was like, why I should take my ID? I don't speak English. I have no plan. My family will not allow me to go work with the military because you get killed.
Right.
And there's like so many propaganda. Americans, do they do that to you? They shoot you themselves. Propaganda outside, you know.
Yeah.
But like, hey, just take it anyway, like just take me there, but they take it. Okay, fine. You're happy? I'll take it. So I'm there. There's like so many people coming for the test. They're going testing, like do a conversation in English, in Pashto and Dari. Pashto and Dari is the two main language in Afghanistan, and English. And then you passing the first interview, then you go for the actual testing inside.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, here's the base. Going back because my mom is sick, I have to take him to the doctor, and there's like 30 minutes drive.
Okay.
We didn't drive, of course. We had getting cops, like the taxi or like a bus to go there.
Okay.
Taxi was there. We're like, okay, I'm going. He's like, no, you're not going anywhere. You have to go the test. I was like, I don't speak English.
Yeah.
I don't speak Pashto, which is the main language in Afghanistan too. I speak Farsi or Dari. Why should I even test when I see people that have their certificates are more than the entire my 12, 11 years of school at that time, homework, they have certificate.
Yeah.
They failing the first test. Why do you think I should go test myself? It's like, no, just go there, take me, we go test ourselves, we go back. Fine, there are like so many people outside the base. They're not even inside allowed because they have to pass a review. Like, hey, what's your name? This and that. If they want to see if he's basic speaking, and then they take him inside for the actual writing.
So bottom line, this is for interpreters.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I go there. My brother called me like, hey, will you be back? I'm like, in 30 minutes, because I know as soon as I go there, they say hi and bye. I'm like, oh, we're fine. Get the hell out of here. They're not going to give me the job. And there are people online. There are like so many people that I couldn't even be their student because their knowledge they have, and you can see their certificate. I barely brought my ID because to make my cousin happy. No, I have no plan on anything.
Yeah.
But what I call it God's plan for me. That's what I called it in the first beginning. Like, okay, if he wants something, so story. I'm trying to make it short because I know we have a limited time. But let's say, I walked to this guy. He asked me a question. When you don't have intention to get something, you're not nervous. You're just answering whatever.
That's right.
Right? I'm not nervous for anything. He asked me a question in English. I remember he asked me 3 things. I remember one of them. He said there will be a school opening tomorrow at north of Afghanistan. Translate this in Farsi and Pashto. Like, well, there is a school opening tomorrow at south of Afghanistan. He said, no, it's north, Farsi. I was like, okay, what's next? He asked me 2 more questions, and I answered, I don't know. Whatever, because I didn't have plan to do that. I was like, okay, go ahead. I turned my face to go back, like, no, you're going this way. You passed. I looked at him, I was like, I passed? He said, yes. I thought he's joking, he's making fun of me, because I answered him like, whatever.
Yeah.
And he only asked me 3 questions, because he was asking people like for like 5-10 minutes back and forth questions.
Super interesting.
Fine. So he passed me there. And I'm like worried now. I'm like, wait, hold on. You didn't even come here for a
weren't even
test.
planning for this.
You're not even want to have a job at
Where's your
WH
cousin
Lake.
at this point?
My cousin passed too. So 6 people passed, including my cousin, and there were like, I would say 50 other people failed. How I passed, I don't know.
God's plan, I guess.
So first one, now everybody's like, hey, if you go there, you have to accept the job. If not, they will blacklist you. And when they say blacklist, I was thinking I'll be blacklisted with you know how people, they go to the blacklist and you cannot travel. That's what I'm thinking at the time. Come on, I'm 18 years old at that time? And for me, first time seeing an American.
That was the first time you
was
saw an
the
American?
very first time.
But it was a soldier.
So the person who did was a Cat 2, we call it. There's someone like, if I go right now to translate people, he was from America, African American, but there was soldiers around next to him to escort him. Like he was
But the guy you were interacting was Afghan.
African American. So I was like, okay, and there's 6 people, including my cousin, saying, hey, if you go there, there's another actual test is inside. There was just a previewing to see how it is. If you go inside, and if you pass all the tests and they offered you the job, hey, you go to Helmand, which at that time was in the heart of war. In the heart of war. And if you don't go and refuse, they call it refuse mission. And then that happens. What happens is that if you refuse mission, then they will blacklist you. I'm like, and
Which
then
means
what? So at that time, I was thinking maybe I cannot travel anymore to any country. My entire future is destroyed.
Right.
And now I have a plan in my head. I will fail myself for the next test. So I don't have to get it. I was like, if you failed, you're fine. You can retry. But if you pass all the tests and you refuse the mission, this happening to
So
you.
you made up your mind you're going to fail.
I'm gonna fail. I'm like, I don't even care. I just failed because I was like, I already failed. I don't even know how I passed the first part. Right. So as soon as I go in, they took my phone, which is normal. You go to the military base, and now like I told my brother, I'll be back in 30 minutes. Now they took my phone.
Yeah.
So I had to go through biometric. When you go to the embassy,
Yeah.
like military base, you have to pass by and make sure you're fine.
This is an American military.
American military base called Camp Stoon. It was named after a soldier Stoon that was killed on this region in Herat, which a lot of military people definitely will recognize that.
Okay.
Back memory. So I passed this. My thing is like, you know what? You just pass that because maybe the guy was whatever happened. You're not gonna pass any of those anyway. So I passed the biometric, and they sent me to this testing room with 5 more people, which total we were 6 out of, I would say 100 people there. So they gave me a chapter which has 100 question in English. It has 4 answers. You have to pick multiple answers, right?
Multiple choice.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, I'm going to fail this thing.
Of 100%, come on. The only here. So I put my name on top, and then didn't read a question of that.
It just started filling.
Did you make diagrams or did you?
No,
Make
I just like
pictures with the
you like
bubbles,
4
yeah.
like.
He picked C for every
Like you had to do the wave. Going
So
down.
my goal is fill this for sure. I'm filling it anyway, even if I read it or I don't read it. I want to be finished from here quickly because my brothers told
Yeah,
me
you're trying to
in
get back
30
home.
minutes. I want to get back home because my phone is off now. They'll get worried. Like what the hell happened to him? So I filled this. Close it. In 100 questions in 15 minutes or something like that. I didn't even read anything. And this guy walked to me. It was an American. Grabbed the chapter and like, easy? Like, yes. You know, put it back. I'm sitting right now, waiting for this other 5 to finish. So then they kick me out, right? Like, you fell. They say, okay, they are finished. You go eat. They brought us some sandwich.
Okay.
If you want to pray, which was surprising for me at the time, you can pray. There's a mosque in the military base.
Oh.
Great, right? That was surprising.
Okay.
So you don't hear that thing outside. They think you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to practice
Sure.
your religion, whatever, but they have a mosque in the military base? That's interesting.
Okay.
So you go praying there and then come back eating while we are scoring your test. And then if you pass, you go get tested with Farsi, which is my language, and Pashto. And then if you fail, then they will escort you out of the camp.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, well, I just go pray and then eat the food.
Get your
I'm
free
waiting.
lunch and you'll be gone.
Waiting,
Serve
I'm
some
going,
food
yeah,
and
I'm
you're
waiting.
gone.
So and there's a door, they call the names, and then the people who pass, they go inside the room. The other 2, whatever, you just go escorted. Called my name, the first person. I'm like,
Your
whatever,
guest answers
whatever.
just happen to be right.
I'm like, okay.
Are you kidding me?
The guy told me, congratulations, you scored the highest in English among all 6 people.
Oh my gosh.
Just the random.
Oh my God.
All 6 people.
And so now they think
It
you
was
speak
meant
English.
to be.
Bro, you're making this up.
I swear, it was like,
Like you said, it's a
and
movie.
now I laughed because I thought he's make fun of me.
Like the first guy.
Yeah. Go inside. I went inside and they sent 3 more people, 2 failed, and then they escorted them out. And then I'm sitting here, I'm still thinking this is a joke. They're trying to escort me out. They're saying maybe they take him to the different room to testing, and I'm waiting for someone to come like, hey, let's go out. And 3 more people, 4 in total, including my cousin, passed the test. We're sitting there, and this guy came in and said, congratulations, you guys all passed the test. And that moment struck in my head. I'm like, listen, until now you really tried hard, but this is a plan from something above your power, which I
I
believe
got
it
you.
got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Don't mess up anything.
So at that
Take it
point, you
serious.
just went, okay. Apparently, this is what I got to do.
Yeah.
This is what I've been here. I didn't have planned for any of this. You're going through this, my friend. Now take it serious. Because you did anything.
Yeah.
You didn't even plan. Someone from a different city came, take you there, push you to grab your ID. You're passing a test among all those 100 people by a joke, and then you coming here, you're doing another joke, fill out the things without even reading it. This is something out of your power. Don't touch it. Take it serious. Now, like, take a breath. Okay, now I'm taking it serious.
The light bulb goes on.
They gave me Farsi test. Easy, right? My language. And
Yeah.
you pass. So I was there from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. while my family is blown there. Like, what
the
happened
whole
to him.
30 minutes.
It's like,
now.
where is he?
Yeah.
They told me to, hey, get the staff, get your chest straight down, because they want to make sure you're not TB or anything else like that. Hey, here's the information. You go open your bank account with AIB Bank, at that time Afghanistan International Bank, so that's how you're getting your payback, and bring those documents back. Now I grabbed those one in my hands. I'm leaving the camp, and I'm like, okay, well, you still have 1 year from your school, one. Second, how can you convince your family, including your parents, your mom and dad, that you're going to work with the military, American military?
Yeah.
Of all people.
All people. And the other thing worries me that, like, you passed the test by a joke. How can you translate? It's not a joke.
Right.
It's a serious job.
Yeah.
So I went there, and I remember my dad used to drink tea. Drinking tea is a traditional Afghan thing, like after work. And I told Dad I went to this base today, and then I did the test, and I passed the test. He just said, okay, so what? Like, nothing. I just wanted to let you know that I passed English test or Farsi test. Now I can, so I had to tell my older brother, like, okay, this is what happened to me. They want me to go. They say, where do they want you to go? So I've heard rumors that they are sending me to Helmand. You're not going to Helmand, let me go, my friend. It's done there. Like, and I don't blame them. Like, Helmand was at the time, you'll be super lucky to survive.
Right.
And plus, you still have 1 year of school, so they're not gonna let you there. So I told my dad, my dad's like, I didn't tell him military. I was like, hey, there's American bases there. I'm getting paid, relatively good money at the time. And can I go join them? It's like, no, there's no way you go there. You have to finish your school first. You have to finish your university. And then, whatever you want to go, it's up to you. But definitely not military. I didn't even mention the military there. So they didn't allow me to go anywhere. At this stage, I passed my test. The US base was calling me there. And I was like, listen, I passed the test. I wasted your time. Now I have to somehow go there and explain them the situation. I just don't want to ghost them.
Sure.
At that point, I don't really thinking about being blacklisted, whatever it is happening, is happening. My family is important. My dad, if he told me not to do that, I'm not going to do it. But I already put their time in there. They counted on me, so I will show up with my luggage the next day, and they will take me to the Helmand or whatever they are. And now if I ghost them, then that's bad.
Yeah.
So now I have to go and let them know in 3 days in advance that I cannot make it. So how do you get in there? Because you need to score there. So I found a friend that they had a contract. They were putting like some construction staff into the base, nearby base. I was like, can you drop me off in front of that? There's an Afghan base, Afghan National Army base, but Campuston had a gate inside that. I was like, can you take me to the Afghan National Army gate? And then I go knock those American gates with the crazy people. Knock. Yeah. They're like, okay. Because there was no way you could go inside that Afghan National Army military base without, like, why you want to go to the military base?
Right.
Like, you can go to military base here. So they was trying to transport this construction staff. I stood next to him. He dropped me off in front of the base. I knocked down the guy. The security guard was asking, like, who do you want to talk to? Like, they used to call this guy John Cena because he was like a John Cena at the time. That's how I remember. John Cena. It's like, okay, let me go call him. And then he come to me like, what do you want? I was like, well, sorry, I'm here. I'm barely trying to talk to him somehow. Like, hey, I know some English, a little bit, but I didn't even know the north and south different, right? Imagine that was my English.
Right.
And he was like, what's your AFG number? There's a number was assigned to everyone.
Right.
It was 1582 was my AFG number at the time. That's my AFG number. I have an old that he needs my support here. I'm sorry, I can't go. I really want to go. You guys are great. I can't go because of these situations.
Yeah.
And I came out of respect to tell you this. If you need to find other people, do it, but I can't leave.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, there's so many people on the line. They want to get that job. If you don't want it, fine, that's fine. They wrote my AFG number on his hand. I remember, like 15182. Yes, okay, got it. Bye.
So you're out.
Walking out now. Yeah, walking out, they're calling me, hey, do you want to work here? We don't send you a helmet. Do you want to work here? I'm like, no, I still have. So 1 year passed. Everything forget. No military base. 1 year passed. I graduated from my school. I started law school.
You start law school?
Law school in Afghanistan.
Wow.
Okay.
I started law school in Afghanistan. I was relatively good on that too. And I started working in a water supply station in Afghanistan with my dad. My dad used to work there for 40 years, but took a break during the Taliban first regime and then started back again. I started there. My salary was $60 US dollars a month.
A month?
A month. Whole month. So 6 days.
As an educated person.
As a high school graduate.
Okay.
My dad was working there, and I was going law school after finishing work at 4. So it was 8 to 4. That was the time. So after 4, I was getting. There was a bus that was driving the people working there. I was getting drop off in front of my university. So my class was starting from 6 to 10 p.m. going university at night. So water supply, unfortunately, with so many other organizations, I'm not trying to talk anything bad about the country, but previous regime, we're not trying to give credit to the new one, whatever happened. Unfortunately, anyone in Afghanistan, there was like so many corruptions that time. My dad always was trying to do anything he can he was like, I don't care about myself, but I don't want to feed my children with the money that comes from a wrong way.
I get it.
They switched their way.
I get it. Dirty money.
Dirty money. And when you're working with the government at that time, it was very easy to get that dirty money. Very easy. At that time, we were only renting. After like 35 years of my dad's service, my brother's doing anything, we're still renting a home there. We don't even have a home there.
Right.
And I'm going private, like whatever I make, I pay for my university, because private universities you have to pay. Public university, you're free to go. I'm going law school, and I go there, and while I'm working there, so environment was trying to push me to the wrong direction. Hey, here's this money, you'll be making $6,000. Here's this money, you just do this. Here's this money, you do that.
The hustle.
The hustle. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm coming to my the hustle. So like, okay, I'm getting tired of I don't want. My dad worked for 35 years, 40 years trying to do good stuff, and I don't want to be like the bad one to do crazy stuff. But at the same time, I have to work. I have to go to university. University, I came up to the point of do you really want to go to your law school? Because if you go to law school, you have two options. You go to politics that brings you back to this craziness that you're escaping from. Or you go become a defender or a lawyer that either you're getting a criminal case to fight against the victim, or you're getting a victim case to fight against a criminal. So if you fight for a criminal, then how can you even feed yourself with that money?
Right.
And if you lose a victim case because of lack of power or education or whatever you had, then how can you even sleep?
Right. Right.
I left the university aside. I'm like, I don't want to go to law school. I'm done. I can't do this. So now we are passing 6 months or so in water supply, and there's pressure so much here. I went to my dad like that. I think whatever you did was great, and I think if I keep doing this, I may end up being, because I could make the money I'm making in 1 month, I could make in 1 day.
Yeah. If you sold out.
And it's easy to do that.
It's very easy. I was like, I don't want to do something that put your reputation in a bad place. And I don't want to be that. So I have to stop this. I have to find something else to do because I can't do this. So while on this ones, I'm trying to find things. One day I receive a call from one of my English teachers, say, hey, I got some friends that from Campstoon coming to my house. Can you go with me, get some staff? They prepare the food, but can you join us? Of course, why not? So I'm sitting there, there's a guy named John, and his interpreter named John, tall American guy with the Afghan clothes. He's from Campstoon. I don't know what his position was. We're eating, and I went to him, listen, in one point, I passed my test and everything here. I didn't go. They called me so many times. I think my file is blacklisted, whatever it is.
Right.
But do you think you can help me? I go back through the same channel, but I can't leave Herat. I have to work in here. I can't go to Helmand or anywhere else. Can you help me with this? He said, okay, what's your AFG number that thing? I gave him the number I gave to you guys. Okay. Next day I receive a call from campus like, do you want to work in airport in Herat? I'm like, yes, why not? So now, okay, my file is back in after a year and a half, that's a miracle because normally they trash your file.
Yeah, they trash it.
Yeah.
Because I get so many calls back and forth from them, like, hey, do you want to work this? Trash my file. I went to, and I was like, okay, well, now you have to convince your dad. How do you want to work here? So I went to him like that. I'm sorry, I got the job. This is close by an airport here. I work with civilians. We built a school. There's no war involved. And I'm like, God, I'm sorry. I mean, it's what I have to do. There's no way. There's no way in a war zone some of your kids can come to you and tell them like, hey, I want to go to war. They're like, okay, go ahead for $400 a month.
No parent's going to do that. Yeah.
So he's like, is it safe? I said, yes, it's safe. It's in the airport and here, we're close by here. Are you sure? You know, like, I don't want you to do that for money. I just want to, you want to do this? He was like, what happened to university? I was like, okay, well, I go there, then I continue my education because I can come back home at night. It's the same thing here. So finally, he gave me a green light. I was like, go ahead. But it's only civilians. We go to the schools. We building schools. We do constructions. Easy. That's it. So I was like, okay, bring your staff. I went there. They told me you're assigned to IQ, call it that time, Islam Kala. There is a border with Iran and Afghanistan. It's in Herat, but it's not in the airport anymore. Damn it. Yeah. Okay, fine. But it's still in the Herat territory.
Sure.
But it's in the border of Iran, not in airport. Now, like, okay, I accept that, but how do I tell my dad?
Right.
So I
Is
called
this a riskier spot?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You know, like, first of all, you're away from your family, and I'm only 19 years old.
Right.
6 months after high school graduate. So.
Right. At least you're not 6. So.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
That's a bonus.
So what happened was I called my dad like that. They're sending me for a training to the border. And I'll be back after 2-3 months.
Did he buy it?
We said, okay, well, fine. I mean, if it's a training, it's only 3 months. So 3 months took 2 years in Islam Kala, IQ.
Did he start freaking out?
Well, he got used to it.
All right.
I was coming almost every week and then coming here and talk to him. So basically, and I still at that point, there is nothing in my head that I'm going to US and I do this and I do that. I'm sorry.
But you're interpreting.
I'm interpreting there. I had a hard time. So Prince, where that started, right? Prince is not my dad's name to put on me.
Sure.
My first sergeant, I was waiting on campus soon for a convoy to come pick me up and take me there. Like the unit were coming and pick up their interpreter when they come and get the supply. I was a part of the supply.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You were a part of it.
So a sergeant named Dugan, I hope he is well, and he's a very great guy. I don't know where he is now. I don't have a contact with him. He was with the 4th Infantry Division. Sergeant Dugan, unfortunately, Americans, yes. Unfortunately, he had to leave the deployment halfway through because he has a back problem. Something like that happened to him. As soon as he saw me, like, hey, you look like Prince. We call you Prince. Is it okay? Singer Prince.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I can see it. Look.
As soon as he said it, I was like,
wow.
Oh, it's 1999.
But hold on. But look. I want to get to this Prince part. And then
why are you disrespecting him right now?
He's so excited now.
I'm excited, and I want to hear a lot more about that Prince part, and then that transition to the U.S. So we're gonna get back to that for part 2.
I like that
of this conversation.
I like that. You promise?
Prince.
You promise?
And then we're gonna head over to the U.S. and find out what the hell is he doing here.
Mm.
I like it. Let's go there.